Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in this one we're doing some autumn nails. So yeah, I've been wanting to do these for ages and I just didn't know what to do, so I thought I'll just do an easy one. So it might look complicated on the picture, but it's not. It's quite easy to do. So I'm using an Aimeili sort of pinkish nude colour on the ring finger, and then I'm using Glam's Perfect Black on the pinky finger. I've got it on the middle finger, but ignore that because I changed that because I wanted to do something else. So on the pinky finger, I'm putting some blooming gel from Glam on and leaving that wet, and then I'm putting some of the black and just sort of swirling it around because I wanted some clear bits but some black bits as well. So there's no pattern to do or anything, I'm just making a mess really with it. So I just wanted a bit of clear sort of showing through because that's going to be like a kind of dimensional nail. So then you can see on the middle finger I've changed that nail tip out now. I've put another one in because I did have it all black, but then I decided I wanted sort of a nail bed shape on this one. So I'm just trying to do it sort of freehand with the gel polish, and I'm not the best at this. I've not really practiced that much, so it took me a while, but I'm just speeding this up. So then I'm just using a Born Pretty, it's an applicator brush, but it's quite rounded. So it's really good for cleanup. So I'm just using that to clean up the smile line. And then I'm going in with the black on the tip. And I'm using my Natalie Mugridge Detailer brush. And I love this brush. I forgot how much I loved it. And that's really good for doing sort of detailed lines and stuff. So I'm doing around the smile line with that. And then I'm just using the brush out of the polish bottle just to do the bottom. And I do put 2 coats of that on. And then I'm just curing it for 30 seconds. So your gel polish only needs 30 seconds, whatever brand I'm using, it always goes in for 30. So I'm just using the clean up brush again at the end just to smarten that smile line up a bit, just to make it neater. And then I'm using these this gold leaf stuff, and it's not gold, it's like, well, it's like a rose gold colour, this one, like a coppery one, so I really like the colour of that, so I'm using that. And I'm putting it on with the tweezers just into the sticky layer of that gel polish, and then I'm using the tweezers just to break it up a bit and make it sort of look a bit rough because I didn't want it all clumped together and all dead smooth. I wanted it a bit messy. So that's going on the top and the bottom of the nail of this ring finger, and then I'm using my little silicone tool to just sort of squash it and press it in so that it was flat, and that helps to break it up a little bit more as well, and that was kind of the look I wanted. So then I'm using a base coat just to go over that nail so that I don't get any little tiny bits of foil going in my top coat. And then I'm putting a base coat on the pointer finger because I'm going to be using some Flakies. I'm going to be using a nail decal on the ring finger. I've cut the decal out and then I've just snipped around the edge of it. And then this is a water decal, so I just put a little bit of water on a palette and then just let that soak for a few seconds before dabbing it all off, the excess water, with some kitchen roll, and then I tried to carefully put it on the nail. I was sort of going for it being in the middle, but it didn't quite work out like that. I'm waiting for a stamper to come. I thought I had a little stamper somewhere, and I do have one of those that goes on a torch, because I recently got that from Amazon, but I don't have one that's just like a clear stamper that I can look through. So I wanted to make sure I didn't mess it up, so that's why I just used the silicone tool. So then the Flakies I got I've had these for years, and I think they were from AliExpress, but you can get them all over Amazon and everything now. There are some in my Amazon storefront. So these can go on a few different ways, and I'm showing you different ways in this video. So on this pointer finger, I'm just placing them very gently into the wet base coat, because that's not been cured yet. And that will help me sort of give a dimensional look to this nail, sort of make it look like they're floating in there. And I'm just using it straight out of the pot. Now you have to be quite careful with these flakies, because they do sort of fly around everywhere, and if you're not careful, like if you sneeze near them, they will go everywhere and they'll stick to everything. So after I'm happy with that decal, I'm going to go in with some top coat and just sort of protect it, because I don't want, if I do happen to sneeze, I don't want the flakies going all in this nail. So I'm just protecting that. But I will show you, I'm obviously top coating over the flakies that I've put on the pointer finger, and then I'm putting top coat. This is a no wipe top coat, and it's going on all of the nails. But again, you have to be careful with these flakies, because not only do they settle well into a wet base coat, they also settle into a no wipe top coat, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. So I've not cured this top coat yet, so I'm putting some of that foil on the middle finger, and again I'm breaking it up with the tweezers and then pressing it down with the silicone tool just to get it how I want it, like on the other nail. So that's just going in the corner, and then I'm going to cure this top coat so that it is ready for the flakies to go on. Now I only cured it for 30 seconds, which is a full cure, but different gel top coats might act differently. So I've tried to keep the speed down, and I don't know if you can see the bits flying everywhere because the static is helping them stick now. So I've placed it on the nail, the flakies, and then I'm rubbing it in with the silicone tool, and that burnishes them into the no wipe top coat. You can do this with your finger as well, but today when I was doing these nails, it was so hot. My skin was all like really clammy, and it wasn't doing what it normally does, so I just used the silicone tool instead. So I've zoomed in now so that you can see it, how the flakies look in tiny little bits just pressed onto the nail. You will see the static effect in them, and they do sort of jump around a bit. So I'm just pressing them carefully, and then I'm getting bigger pieces and pressing those on. Now I don't want to break them up, these big pieces, so I'm being really careful and pressing them carefully on. So I'm just putting a few on the ring finger as well. I'm not going mad with it, but I get really carried away with these flakies. When I see how they look on the nail, I think, oh, I want to put them on everything now. I'll put them on all the nails. But I had to sort of hold back a bit. So then I'm going in with the base coat again, just to cover all that up and make sure that it's all protected. But obviously I don't want to use a top coat, because I'll get bits of flakies in my top coat, and I don't want that. They lay so flat that it doesn't really matter if you get them in your base coat, but it does matter if you get them in your top coat. So I've done that to all the nails, and then I'm going in with the blooming gel again on the pointer finger, because we're going to add another layer of dimension onto this nail. So I'm going in with the black gel polish again over the top of all that, but I'm not putting as much as I did on the first coat, because I don't want to cover all the flakies up. I just want a few of them sort of poking through. So when I'm happy with where all that is, I'm then going to put that in the lamp again. And then on the middle finger, I wasn't really happy with the colour of the nail bed, and I did want to build it up a little bit more, so I decided to use the builder in light pink from Glam and just put that on over the top of the nail bed. And then that needs to be cured for 60 seconds in your lamp, because it's a gel, it's a builder gel. So now they're all finished, I'm going to go in with a matte top coat, and that's not usual for me, but I saw some designs on Instagram and they look really good, these flakies. with matte, so I decided to go in with that. So you can see how they're going to look shiny when I'm putting this top coat on. So I love the way those flakies look burnished in and pressed into the base coat, into the top coat, but I love how they are just as they are as well. So you'll notice from the photos on the thumbnail that the nails aren't matte, and that's because I did want to do them matte, but when I saw them shiny when I was top coating them, I couldn't leave them matte. I just couldn't. I just love the way they look shiny so much. So here they are matte. So I did keep the matte polish on just long enough to show you what it would look like, the top coat, sorry. So yeah, this is how they would look with a matte top coat. And I do like it, but I just don't like it as much as shiny. So yeah, after I'd done this little bit, I put the hand back on the stand and I put the shiny on. And this is how they look shiny, and I just think they look so much better. So on the pointer finger you can see all the different layers on that nail, and I love how that one turned out. I love them all, to be honest. I'm really happy with this set. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Are you a matte person or a shiny person? I definitely prefer shiny, especially when it comes to flakies. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. So you'll find links to everything that I used in this video in the description box, as well as links to my Amazon storefront and all my discount codes. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.